If you want to take the next step in your marketing journey, you need to have a clear idea of your goals and aspirations as to the types of products and services you want to create and sell to your audience of followers. So if this is an avenue that you're choosing to go down, you need to understand the importance of creating and selling your own digital products first and foremost. And for this, to give you some ideas, you need to understand what the benefits will be and how useful they're going to be for your audience's needs and interests to solve problems or to provide entertainment, whichever is needed the most. So once you understand the particular benefits of each product or service, then you can begin the ideas and planning phase to narrow down the specific elements so that you can focus on exactly what is truly necessary. So you can cut out all of the fluff to create and develop the exact processes needed to create a worthwhile product that is going to give your audience exactly what they need. But for this to happen, you first need to identify with your own passion and expertise, because in reality there's no sense in creating a product or service if you're not passionate about it yourself. You will quickly experience burnout and you will lose any sort of motivation with regards to trying to progress to completion. All you're doing really there is prolonging the inevitable. But the best way to work around this issue is to focus and identify an area that you are passionate about and also an area that you have the most expertise in. Because the chances are, if you're passionate about it, you will also become an expert. You will also know how to do A, B and C, how to complete tasks, what are the best practices and what are the most safest tips that you can employ that you can also teach other people to do the same. So you must be able to assess your own skills, knowledge and particular interests with regards to these services that you're looking to create. You need to sit down with a notebook, pen and paper, or an online document like a Google Doc or a Word doc of some kind, and you need to start brainstorming product ideas based off of your specific skill set and expertise. The next thing you need to do is to research the demand in the market and even your competition related to the product ideas that you're currently thinking about. Is there a demand for any particular service or product that you have in mind in creating, or is there a gap in the market where there's a limit or lack of a particular skill or area of expertise or even interest that people are actively looking for but can't find a solution to it? That will be your avenue and your chance to fill that gap and to become the expert in that area. Because even with the multitude of different avenues, services and knowledge that is available online, there's always a place for you. There's always a gap in the market somewhere. If you can find that gap and put your stamp on it, you will become the authority in that area. So once you have all of those aspects and all of your ideas written down, the next thing that you need to determine is defining your target audience. You need to understand your audience's needs. You also need to engage with them once you're starting to build your audience and understand their wants, needs and interests. That way then it will help you to build products and services around those elements. So by conducting market research, it will help you to understand their specific needs and preferences. So that way then you can cater all of those elements in your product to those needs to give them exactly what they want. What you should also look into doing is creating buyer personas to tailor your product development process. By breaking this section down into individual steps, you will be able to understand the type of people that need your product or service, the type of people that are interested in you as a product creator or even content creator, while understanding their unique skills or lack of skills. What do they need help with? What do they like? What do they enjoy? Even more so, even down to the area that they live in. Is there a specific part of a country that they live in where there's a lack of, for example, transport system or various tools or services that they can't get access to, that they would have to go elsewhere or go miles out of their way in order to find? Try to be specific and also try, if you will, to understand the mind of each individual person that is coming to you for advice. It will help you to narrow down your focus onto the types of people that you want to relate to. So that way then you can cater your product or service that is going to be unique to those preferences. So once you have all of those elements in mind, then you can begin the planning phase. You can outline the features and functionalities of your digital product. So you can give a detailed outline of exactly what people are going to get and how much value they'll receive in return. Provide benefits on what they can expect and how it will help them to solve their problems. And if you already have an audience and you have been engaging with them to let them know that you are developing a product that's catered to their needs, you can determine the scope of their interests by creating a timeline for your product development. You can let them know that you are working on something behind the scenes and give them an outline or a deadline, more to the point, of when you expect to have that product or service finished and finalized, so that you can begin selling to them. So during this process, once you've gotten all of those other elements out of the way, you can begin allocating resources and even setting up budgets for your product creation. So you can set aside specific elements with regards to your development processes. So should any issues arise during the production phase, you can deal with those issues so that you can keep the process continuing on with little drawbacks. The next step, once you have your ideas and planning process set up, you then want to choose the right format for your digital product, and you want to explore the different types of digital elements and product formats. Do you want to sell an ebook? Do you want to sell an audiobook? Create online courses? Create unique one-off pieces of digital art? Do you want to create specific template lists, for example like YouTube thumbnails or ebook design templates or web design or landing page templates that you can sell in a bulk format where people, if buying, can gain access to a certain number of digital preferences that they can use in their own websites, they can use in their own designs and their own templates, and just take what they need and go from there. You also want to evaluate the pros and cons of each format. Will they be usable for your audience? Which is going to be the most preferable for your audience to use, especially if you're looking at it from the eyes of a beginner? Do people like to read? Do they want to watch videos? Or are they more in tune with various technical aspects? Or do they have a unique preference or set of skills that you can create various templates around to help them on their creative journeys? By understanding these formats, it will allow you to cater your particular content or service to your target audience so that you can reach your production goals. The next stage will be to begin development to create and prototype your digital product. As even though you are coming off of the idea phase, not everything is set in stone. There is elements of your ideas that could drastically change over time. People may have other requirements or needs that you can fit in. So you need to be able to approach everything with an open mind, to understand the specific dynamics and to understand where you can fit in other ideas that you may not have realised when you started this creation process. So you can begin by developing a detailed product outline or course curriculum. It will help you to structure exactly what way you want to position all of the elements. For example, if you're creating an online course and you want to cater it around a specific niche or a certain type of step-by-step process, you want to get started with an introductory element to let viewers know exactly what they're going to get and all of the processes that are going to be outlined further into the course. Then you can break each task down into individual steps, starting from the most beginner-friendly elements and then gradually move up into more intermediate and advanced elements until they complete the course, until they complete the product or production element that they've been following along with throughout their journey. So when you're doing this, you can utilize different aspects. You can write and create written articles. You can create visual elements such as likes of infographics, or even record videos to teach step by step. Or what you can do is you combine all of the elements into one unique package where you can reference each point at a different section to let people know exactly what it is that they need to do next in order for them to move forward so that they can follow along with relative ease. So from there, what you need to do is constantly try to improve, iterate and test your product, prototype, even ask for feedback and look for any ways to make improvements along the way. The next stage, once you have your product near completion, you want to start thinking of how you can create a compelling sales page or landing page or some sort of sales kind of preference promotion page to persuade people to at least have a look or to be interested in your service. So you need to craft a persuasive headline and create a compelling product description. So you want to also highlight the key elements and benefits, features of your digital product, how it's going to benefit the user. It will also help if you have access to incorporate testimonials, if you have social proof, and even other types of visual elements, as it will also help to boost your credibility with selling your product. Once you have the product and the sales page all lined up and you have all of the elements ready to go, you then need to implement a marketing strategy, because if you've no way to promote your product, you're never going to make a sale. So you want to utilize certain elements to bring awareness and interest to your product. So you can do this by utilizing various elements seen on social media platforms. You can create video content on the likes of YouTube, there's TikTok, Instagram. You can create Instagram Reels, stories. You can also use Facebook, Twitter and many other platforms to help you expand your reach with your followers. Also consider collaborating with other content creators and influencers and industry experts, as that will also help you to expand your reach. And also be mindful to collaborate with people that are also working in a similar niche, that create similar content to yours, because that way it makes your content more relatable to their audiences. Because by collaborating, it brings you to the eyes of their audience, but it also brings their audience to the eyes of you. So it will allow you to expand your reach way beyond what you could ever possibly have imagined. You also want to utilize email marketing and lead generation strategies to nurture your prospects. You want to use your landing page that you've built to also capture your emails, because if they are interested in buying, they'll also want to be interested in knowing more about you. What else are you selling? And what else you can help them with. By creating an email list, it will allow you to build a personal connection with each of your followers, and you can provide the most amount of value. Once you have all of these elements set up, you want to utilize different services or e-commerce style platforms so that you can house your product, so that you can start selling. Now, there are a number of them out there that you can use. Some of the most popular ones would be the likes of Shopify, Squarespace, WooCommerce, among a few others, even Systemi.io, that also allows you to utilize various aspects and even set up your own cart-based system so that you can start earning money on the back end. Now, there is a lot more involved work in setting these up, because you do need to have a certain preference in terms of skills and understanding content management systems in order to be able to integrate payment platforms such as PayPal, Stripe, Revolut, or any type of payment processor, or even your own bank account should you decide to use one. But there are other platforms available online that are easier to use, where you don't have to do any back end work, that you can literally just set up a profile, set up a page, and then just integrate your payment processor and then just go from there. There will be a link to a video up in the card above on the screen that will show you some of the best platforms that you can get started with as a beginner if you're deciding to use these processes. So once you've picked a platform and you've set everything up, it's a case of just setting up your product listings and payment gateways. And if you are selling physical products, as that is another avenue that you can go down to at a later date, you want to configure shipping and fulfillment options if applicable. But in this case, because you're selling digital products, you don't really need to worry about that. The next stage is to launch your digital product. You want to utilize all of the steps that I've mentioned here to plan and execute a successful launch for your product. You want to be able to create a sense of urgency and offer a limited time promotion. So if your product is new, you want to offer, for example, 10% off for the first couple of days of the launch period when the product is just live, or even run the product itself for a limited time that they can only gain access to it for about a week, and after that you can take it away and remove it until another time. So you want to create that fear of missing out, or FOMO, so that will also create urgency to get people interested in buying. From there, once sales start coming in, and if people are interested in buying your product, you want to monitor the sales, you want to monitor your analytics, but you also want to monitor the customer feedback that you receive to refine your product and marketing strategy. Because if there are any discrepancies with regards to your product, that will be the time that it will come to light. But it will give you ample time to fix any outstanding issues so that you can create the best possible product that will suit your audience's needs. You also need to be mindful that just because you've made a sale of a product doesn't necessarily mean that it's over. You also need to provide ongoing customer support and updates. Like going back to what I said about setting up an email list, you need to provide customer support to your followers and your buyers. You need to let them know that you have their back, that if there is any queries or interest in specific elements, that they can contact you specifically, or contact a member of your team if you're growing a business outside of your sales page, and let your viewers know that they can contact you or someone else to help them with their queries. You want to make sure that you respond to customer queries and address issues as quickly as you possibly can, as that will also help to elevate your level of trust among your audience. So with the feedback that you will get on a regular basis, you want to use that as fuel to improve and update your digital product, revise it or make different iterations of it over time, or even use it to influence new products that you will create in the future. So just to recap of all the elements mentioned in this video, you want to make sure that once you've gone through the process of thinking and planning out your ideas and developing them, you want to make sure that you provide great customer support, build trust with your audience through email, through whatever feedback that you receive through your social media avenues. But you also want to make sure that the process is focused and as beginner friendly as possible, not just for yourself but for your audience, so that they can use your product. But you also want to create a simple process for yourself to plan, develop, create and promote, so that you can sell your own digital products online. You want to make the process as streamlined, focused and as simple as possible for everybody, not just yourself. You also want to be direct. You want to encourage your viewers to take action and start their own journey. If they want to follow in your footsteps, if they want to create their own products, their own services, you need to become the authority in that area and be the light at the end of the tunnel and let them know that there is hope, that they can bring their own ideas to life. But they can only do that if they take action and be consistent. You want to emphasize the potential of success and personal fulfillment through creating and selling the digital products that you have on offer. You want to make sure that the process from idea to creation to promotion to the final sale is as simple and as streamlined as possible, as it will help you to create the most amount of value to your audience, and they will know, like and trust you, and they will come back to buy more of your products and services in the future, and even also recommend you to other people that may also need help. So we have covered the most beginner friendly processes to plan, develop, create, promote and sell your own digital products online. By following the steps outlined in this video, you can turn your product ideas into reality and establish a successful online business. From identifying your passion and target audience to planning the product development process, implementing marketing strategies and launching your digital product, it will provide you with a roadmap and a guide that you can use at every stage of the process. Now it is time to unleash your creativity and bring your own digital products to life. But if you would like to know more in detail of exactly how to set up all of these processes in a more detailed format that outlines everything step by step, I will create a selection of videos and create a playlist which I will outline here on screen that will show you all of the exact processes that you need to put together your ideas and develop them through to completion so that you can start making sales. So if it is something that you're interested in, you can check out the playlist here on screen.